Hey guys, this is Connor. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to give you my Kansas City Chiefs record prediction for the 2022-2023 NFL season. Before this video does get started, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you want your team to be selected next to be predicted, just comment down below what team that is, and I will make sure to do that as quick as possible. Now, before I get into this video, let's talk about this team a little bit. Obviously, they have Patrick Mahomes, who top 3 quarterback in the NFL. I don't think that's really a debate. Don't care what you have him 1, 2, or 3, but I feel like that's where he needs to be. Running game isn't great. Clyde Edwards-Helaire isn't terrible. But not really a high end starter, not even really an average starter, probably below average. Fumbles a little bit more than you'd like to. He just isn't great at anything. He's pretty average at like everything that you can do as a running back. Ronald Jones is a pretty good backup. Jerick McKinnon is also a good third string running back, more for receiving though. Then on the receiving core, they obviously lost Tyreek, but they signed Juju, which really isn't a receiver one, but that's not too big of a deal. Because they got Mecole Hardman, MVS, Sky Moore, and even Josh Gordon might get some playing time this year. They have a lot of receivers that are good. There's no true number one receiver. They have a bunch of receivers who can play. And a bunch of receivers that have speed, like Mecole Hardman, MVS, and Sky Moore. And then at the tight end position, they obviously have Travis Kelce and Blake Bell and Ogre backing him up. That doesn't really matter too much. They got a fullback, Michael Burton. Probably not going to play that much because fullbacks are dying in the NFL these days. And then on the line, they have Orlando Brown at a tackle spot. He might not play this year. He's probably going to hold out for a contract, but we'll see if that happens or not. We'll still have Joe Thuney and Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith on the inside. Very good inside core, maybe the best in the NFL. Creed Humphrey broke out last year as a top 3 center. Joe Thuney also had a really good year for the Chiefs last year. And Andrew Wiley is a terrible right tackle for them. And then going on the defense, on the defensive ends, you have Frank Clark and George Karlaftis. I think George Karlaftis will have a pretty good year. He was selected, I believe, like 30th overall. He's a very good player. Fell a little bit, but he went to a place where he will get a good role, and he's going to be a starter day one. And then obviously have Chris Jones at that nose tackle position. Then you go into this linebacker core. All they really have that is good there is Nick Bolton. Willie Gay isn't terrible at sub-linebacker, but Nick Bolton on the weak side is really their only strength, and he needs to take a big step up for this defense to be decent. And then in the secondary, they obviously drafted Trent McDuffie, who's a very good corner. I think he's pretty NFL ready. He won't be amazing in the NFL, but he's a good CB 1 or 2 where we might play. And they obviously have L'Jarius Sneed as well. And then they replaced Tyrann Mathieu with Justin Reed, who really wasn't playing worse than Tyrann Mathieu last year. Tyrann Mathieu was one of the more overrated players just because he is getting praise because of his name, obviously. He's still a very good safety, but he really wasn't playing that great last year. But they did give it to Daniel Thornton, which is a big win for the Chiefs, and they still would want Thornton at that free safety spot. And now, with the team being gone over, let's get into this record prediction. First, we have the games the Chiefs were likely to win. We have Cardinals in week 1, which is the only one that may not agree with. I feel like Texans, the Jaguars, and Seahawks are all pretty standard. The Cardinals without D-Hop, it's going to be hard. Even though the Chiefs are on the road, I don't feel like they're going to have any problem dealing with the Cardinals in that situation. The Cardinals just aren't really that good of a team, in my opinion. I think they're overrated. Like, they aren't terrible, but they just don't have all the pieces. The defense is lacking outside of really Budda Baker. They don't have a true number one corner. So yeah, it's not a great team, but especially weeks 1 through 6 is going to be tough for the Cardinals. And now onto the games that are 50-50. There's a bunch of them. You have each divisional game. Chargers versus Broncos. I have them splitting 1-1 with each team. That's a really tough division. And it's really going to be hard to win on the road against all those teams. Then you have the games below. You have against the Colts in week 4, Bills in week 6, 49ers in week 8, Titans in week 9, Rams in week 12, and Bengals in week 13. Almost all of these games are at home, especially the ones with the Bills and Rams, which gives them the edge, I believe, over those teams. And I do think that they get a win against the Bengals on the road in week 13. I feel like that the Bengals haven't improved a whole bunch this year. Yes, they fixed the offensive line, but the Chiefs are going to be ready, and Travis Kelce's going to go off in this game. Bengals aren't bad by any means, but they kind of are getting praised a little too much. I feel like Titans and Colts will be decently standard. They'll be close games, but I think the Chiefs will get them done. Then we have one game that I think the Chiefs have no possible way of winning, and that's against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a very good team, and you are not going to beat them when you are on the road. No team in the NFL can beat Tampa Bay on the road. Tampa Bay may not be the best team, but no one can beat them in Tampa Bay. Just like no one's going to be able to beat Buffalo in Buffalo. It's just not going to be possible. Tom Brady's too good of a quarterback to let that happen. And he has a great team around him. He has a great offensive line. He has a pretty good running back core. Don't say Leonard Fournette's not good. He's a very good running back. He's very talented. One of the better power backs in the league. Receiving core is amazing. He'll have Mike Evans and Russell Gage as number 1 and 2 receivers for a while until Chris Godwin gets healthy. But Chris Godwin will come back sometime in the season, I bet. I doubt he'll be ready for the beginning of the year, though. So he'll probably miss a few games. He lost Gronk and O.J. Howard this year, but Cameron Brate's not a bad tight end by any means. And the defense is still very good. Haven't really lost any pieces. They still have Carlton Davis, who's underrated, and Antoine Winfield Jr. So those two are really bolstering the secondary. They still got great middle linebackers in Devin White and Levante David. Obviously, Ndamukong Suh is not on the team, but Joe Tryan's been probably take a big step for the pass rush. And they still got Shaq Barrett. This is still a really good team. I just don't see the Chiefs have any way to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road. They're pretty similar teams. I think the Bucs might have the slight edge over them, which is why there's no chance the Chiefs beat them when they are on the road. They probably would get away with it, barely, if they're at home, but that's still kind of hit or miss. It would definitely be 50-50, and they still might not win that game. But after going over here, we have the final prediction of the Chiefs. I have them at 13-4. I feel like their ceiling is 15-2. They won't win every 50-50 game. No team probably will. But I still feel like that they could go 15-2. They're going to lose the divisional game. They're not going 6-0 in the division. That division is too tough. They'll still lose to the Bucs. But they could lose some of those 50-50 games as well and drop to 9-8. I don't know how much the Tyreek Hill loss will affect them. I don't think it'll affect them as much as people think, which is why I still have them at a very good record at 13-4. People say, "Oh, the Chiefs' schedule is very tough," which you are right. But all their tough games coming home. It's going to be very hard to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. I don't know if many teams can do that. But yeah, that's why I have the Kansas City Chiefs going 13-4. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to comment what team you want next, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.